as we kick off round 9 of the 2025 NPL season. And it's two teams synonymous with this competition meeting yet again. It's Heidelberg United hosting Green Gully, inner northeast versus inner northwest. And there's a bit of distance between the two geographically and also on the table. The Burgers are currently third. They could go as high as second depending on results elsewhere tonight. Whilst Green Gully, after a disastrous start to the season, have recovered somewhat. And a win here would be their third in 4 games, and they would certainly consolidate themselves in mid-table. They're currently 9th. Cade Lucas is my name. I'm flying solo this evening, commentating this one for you on YouTube. Hope you can stay with us. One of a number of games this evening in the NPL. Plenty of action happening elsewhere. Dandy City against Avondale, Hume against Oakley, and Melbourne Knights versus Preston Lions. But it's here at the Village, the Burgers and the Cavaliers that is our focus. Let's go through the lineups very quickly. For the home side, Souza in goal, Ben Collins, Jamal Ali, Anthony Lesiotis, Fletcher Fulton, Sharif Mohammed Idara, Bull Joach, Ryan Lethleen, Dao Chok, Asahi Yokokawa, and Max Pacetto is the starting 11. Whilst for the visitors, Driscoll is in goal, Riley Byrne, Morris Nugent, Jalil Ragag at the back, Matthew Crooks, Scott Lockhead in midfield, Joshua Hope, Casper Hallam up top. He's been a goal scorer recently. Declan Wynn, the former New Zealand international, Carl Imanzi, and Amir Abdallah is back in the lineup, the Sudanese international and one of the stars of the NPL. He'll be looking to light up the Village this evening. Jack Morgan is our referee, and he is about to get us underway. All the formalities have been sorted out. Crowd filtering in on what is a clear but cool night here in Melbourne. It's the last Friday night before the clocks go back. Well, the last time we'll be playing in any hint of evening sunshine or sunset for a fair while. It'll be pretty dark and wintry from here on in. Two teams whose colours are very well known. The visitors, Green Gully, in the green and white stripes. They get us underway. The Burgers, of course, in their famous yellow and black. They're going towards the club room's end in this first half, or the right of your screen. And Green Gully going towards the southern end, or the Murray Road end, or the left of your screen. And they're going forward early here through Hallam. What a start this would be for Gullies. Hallam is caught in two minds, and now the linesman's flag pulls him up anyway. Green Gully could hardly believe their luck there. They thought they'd sprung the Burgers offside trap. Wasn't to be. It was Casper Hallam, energetic blonde goal scorer from Tasmania. 3 goals this season. He's the top scorer for Green Gully. Got a couple last week, in fact, against Melbourne Victory up in Shepparton, where the Burgers travelled to take on Victory's juniors, and they come back with a 2-1 win, their second win of the season. Left lean at the back for Heidelberg, who are keeping a pretty high line here early on. Souza, clad in purple tonight, the keeper. Plays it with Ben Collins, the skipper. Now Souza through the middle. That's a crunching challenge, though, by Gully, and they win the ball back. Looking to make a fast start here, the visitors. This ball dribbles out of play. They are on the front foot here early doors. Nugent, the skipper. Well, that's a sloppy pass from him, and the Burgers could be in now. It was Idara flowing forward. And now that's a pretty agricultural challenge there on the Heidelberg attacker. I think it might have been Yokokawa who was brought down, and it's a yellow card. Just over 2 minutes played, and the first player is in the book. It was Yokokawa who was on the receiving end. I'm not exactly sure who has gone in the book. It's a Green Gully player, of course. Whoever it is, it's going to have some defending to do, because this is a free kick in Pretty inviting territory here for Heidelberg. Liam Driscoll standing up against the left-hand upright. There's a 5-man wall being marched back inside the 18-yard box. And it looks as though the man who was fouled, who won the free kick, is going to take it. Asahi Yokokawa, who's been a star this season. He's scored 4 goals. He scored some beauties too, the Japanese. Could he add to his resume here? Gone just over 3 minutes. It's Yokokawa. He goes underneath the wall. Couldn't quite beat Driscoll, but the rebound is in. And the Burgers haven't wasted time. It's Jamal Ali. His 3rd goal in a week and his 4th of the season. He's a defender, by the way, but he knows where the back of the net is, and so too do the Burgers. That's their 19th of the season, and after less than 4 minutes, they have the lead. It's Heidelberg 1, Green Gully 0. Yokokawa was unlucky not to score himself. It was a very good free kick. Just slid under the wall. It jumped over the top of it, almost like they were doing a jump rope. Liam Driscoll got down to it, but he parried it straight into the path of Jamal Ali, who couldn't believe his luck. Plenty of time for Green Gully to retrieve the situation, though. Souza puts that one straight onto the bank, almost over into Northland Shopping Centre. Jamal Ali scored twice last week against Altona Magic. He was already Heidelberg's equal second leading scorer before this game, and now he's level with Yokokawa. Yokokawa couldn't quite score, but Ali did, and now they're level on the scoring charts with 4 apiece. A defender and a midfielder come striker. Here's Driscoll. Did well to make that save from Yokokawa, but unfortunately wasn't able to do much about the rebound. Certainly showed good reflexes to get down, did the veteran shot stopper. Here's Wynn. And they almost get in a tangle trying to play out here, Gully. Driscoll goes route 1 instead. Down in front of the grandstand here at the Village. Hallam putting himself about here, and he wins the ball just inside the field of play to his doppelganger Lockhead, who then sends it back out of play. Those two, Hallam and Lockhead, not only do they look very similar, but the numbers on their backs with the way the Cavaliers have their numbers, they look very similar too. One's 17 and the other's 11, and from a distance, it almost looks exactly the same. And if you're wondering, yes, I have mixed them up plenty of times. I'm sure I probably will tonight. There's Lethlean, big centre back, playing in place of Adin Fedahadic, who we saw off the field earlier this evening. He's a big imposing player on the pitch, and he's pretty big off the pitch too, the big Heidelberg defender who's out injured. They'd love to have him here because Green Gully are going forward. They're giving them some work to do, and it's 1-1. Green Gully aren't behind for long. Souza spilt it, and I think it was Hallam who got there to pick up the crumbs and put it in. That's his 4th of the season. 2 quite similar goals. On both occasions, the keeper got down and made the save, but spilt it straight into the path of the goal scorer, who tapped in from point-blank range. This time it was Casper Hallam for the Cavaliers. And we've got 2 goals on the board in less than 8 minutes here at the Village. It's 1-1 between the Burgers and Green Gully. Well, if you were looking for an entertaining start to your night, you couldn't have come anywhere better than the Olympic Village or at home on YouTube, because this looks like it could be a rollicking good affair if the first 8 or so minutes are any guide. A goal apiece, and you get the feeling both sides are not content to stay there. Here's Wynn and the goal scorer Hallam. And here's Hallam again, herring down the touchline, trying to keep it in play. He does. But the other goal scorer, Jamal Ali, was there to dispossess him. Yokokawa with a nice run down the far touchline, but the locals unimpressed as the flag goes up. Right in amongst the Heidelberg United faithful here in the main grandstand at the Village. You might be able to hear a few of them in the background voicing their support. One of the great old venues of, well, not just Victorian football, Australian football. Here's Lockhead in midfield. Barnstorming run from the Scotsman. And they're on the move here down the far side, Green Gully. This is promising. Here's Hope. His first touch just let him down slightly. And then he got a bit over exuberant and gave away the free kick. Collins. And he puts that down the channel, and herring after it is Chalk. He's got Wynn right with him, up against the corner flag. The Kenyan. Dow Chalk. Goes all the way back, and a flying shot there from Lesiotis, who put the laces through it, and that didn't miss by too much. You can hear some oohing and ahhing from the old-time Heidelberg United supporters right near me. They've seen plenty of those type of goals scored from that range, from this vantage point in the past, and I think a few of them thought that was going in. The way this game's going, you wouldn't be surprised at all if there's another goal very soon. Regard. That's a risky ball. Amanzi. Heidelberg keep the pressure on, but they have given away a goal kick in doing so. Burgers looking for their second win in a row. They defeated Altona Magic 3-1 last week here at the Village. They've gone win, loss, draw in their last 5. So looking to make it back-to-back wins for the first time in a while, as Yokokawa's again skating down the touchline. He couldn't quite keep control there. He looks dangerous every time he gets it. Work there by Byrne across with the covering tackle for Gully, but it is a throw here for the Burgers on the far side. Left lean. All the way back to Souza. Left lean again, ex-Brisbane Raw defender. And here's Ali. And he's closed down, the goal scorer for the Burgers. Ali, one of two Sudanese players out there tonight, Amir Abdullah the other. Amir Abdullah is a Sudanese international. Not exactly sure about Jamal Ali. Gully get themselves out of a pickle there with Byrne just banging it clear. And Sudan is certainly right in the hunt for a World Cup place in the African qualifiers, which is always a bit of a lottery, one of the more difficult paths through to the World Cup. But Sudan are in with a chance. Wouldn't it be amazing to see some NPL players at the World Cup in the US, Mexico and Canada next year? Amir Abdullah could be among them. Collins down the channel. Yokokawa's on the move. Danger here for Gully. Yokokawa. Oh, he tumbles down. And Jack Morgan waves his hands away. I think Yokokawa might have almost tumbled over himself there. He was going a little bit too quick for his own good. Well, I've seen those given. No surprises in guessing what the Burgers supporters near me thought of that. Driscoll goes straight down the middle. Straight onto the head there of Fulton. Fletcher Fulton, one of three Tasmanians out there tonight. Two for Green Gully and one for the Burgers. There's a free kick is given away here. And it's Amanzi who takes it for Green Gully. Game just settling down a little bit after that frenetic first 10 minutes. It seemed like either side was going to score every time they went forward. Maybe both just settling into a bit of a rhythm here. Hope you're enjoying the coverage on YouTube. Cade Lucas with you. If you're just joining us, Heidelberg United went ahead after just 3 minutes through Jamal Ali after a Asahi Yokokawa free kick was parried into the path of the Sudanese defender. But Green Gully were level about 4 minutes later through Casper Hallam, who also scored from a tap-in after a spill by the opposite keeper. And that's where we are. Is Yokokawa. Back to left lean. Playing a pretty high line here, the Burgers at home. The press up. Soz is miles off his line. David Chick's men have got plenty of numbers camped back behind the ball. Pretty happy to let Heidelberg have it deep in their own half at the moment. They've just dropped back a bit, but happy just to sit off here at the moment. Gully. Now the underdogs coming into this. The table doesn't lie. There's 6 places and 7 points between them. As that's a good ball forward by Fletcher Fulton. Just overhit it slightly. Looks like he's playing a bit deeper, Fulton. He's got the number 7 on the back. Listed as a forward. Came over as a forward from Moreland City. Looks like he's playing a bit deeper so far this evening. Win. Over towards Hallam. He's a tricky customer who tried to wriggle clear there. Went to ground. Ali wrestles it forward. Over towards Lesiotis. And they work it to the far side, Heidelberg. And now it's the dangerous Yokokawa after it. Byrne is having none of it. He goes straight to the safety at the touchline. It's another one he's put up onto the hill and almost down the other side. He's going to keep the ball boys busy over on that far mound. Riley Byrne. Collins. Both centre-backs deep inside the Gully half here. They're really pressing up high. Hallam couldn't quite trap the ball to try and catch them on the break there. And instead it's Heidelberg who've got it back, probing forward again. Hallam just got caught there at the last. There's Lesiotis coming across. No yellow there for Lesiotis, but it's not something that'll be foreign to him. He's got the equal most yellow cards in the competition, Anthony Lesiotis, with 4. There's a few others with him on that total. Again, the Burgers work that far left-hand side. And it's Yokokawa, dangerous run. The ball pinballing around. In fact, it was Yokokawa coming in the middle who spooned it over the top. It was Basetto with the run down the flank, rather. Former Melbourne Victory man. Both he and Yokokawa have really flashed so far in this first almost 19 minutes. It's down that left-hand side where they're going, the Burgers. They've got no reason to decide against it. They're getting plenty of joy down there early on. Left lean with the header. Sent back the other way by Nugent. Hallam is in a sea of yellow Guernseys there. He wasn't going to win that. And now it's the running Juash. Danger here for Gully. Good saving tackle there by Byrne. Or Regard, rather, who gets back to his feet and then loses the ball. Juash once again. Lockhead back there. And now finds Hallam. Good, entertaining game this. As Hallam goes to ground right in front of us here, and it's a free kick for Gully. Burgers are in control in general play, but Green Gully certainly giving them plenty to think about on the break. It's an intriguing contest. Lesiotis. Ali. He and Hallam are having a real battle down this near touchline. The two goal scorers. Yokokawa drifting in field and now finds his mate Basetto. This is where they're dangerous, the home side. They have to retreat this time, though. Lesiotis just keeps his feet out. He lost the ball there. They could have been in trouble, the Burgers. But he kept it. Now he finds Ali. Danger. They wanted him to shoot. He'd love another goal, Ali. Instead, he went towards Yokokawa. They keep the move going. Here's Hallam deep in defence for Gully. And they get a bit of breathing space. Burgers will load up again. Certainly taking control possession-wise, Heidelberg. Don't have the stats to hand, but they'd be substantially in the favour of the home team, which is to be expected, I suppose. Left lean. Over towards Yokokawa, got a pocket of space, or just went down before he could have a shot, and then came clattering through. Was Byrne, who then shoved Yokokawa down. He doesn't want to be doing that sort of thing. Bit of petulance there by Regard, rather. It was one of the big centre-backs. It was Jalil Regard, rather, who clattered into Yokokawa and then pushed him down before he could get up, and he gets a bit of a talking to here from Jack Morgan, and he's lucky not to have his name taken. is Byrne. To Regard. Back to Driscoll. Oh, that's sloppy. Straight into the path of Chock, who really should have scored. Hands on heads here in the grandstand. That was wrapped like a gift to Dow Chock, and the Kenyan blasted away and blasted wide. And Liam Driscoll breathes a big sigh of relief, as do the Gully supporters here, because it remains 1-1. Elsewhere, there's only one other goal so far this evening, and that's between Dandy City and Avondale. The league leaders, Avondale, have gone in front. So looking to avoid the Dandy double. Avondale, they lost to the Thunder a couple of weeks ago, but they're winning so far against Dandy City after 10 minutes. 0-0 between Melbourne Knights and Preston Lions. Hume and Oakley are yet to kick off. And it's 1-1 here. About halfway through the first half, or a little bit over halfway. Entertaining contest. Cade Lucas with you on YouTube. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. As Chock, who really should have scored moments ago, finds Idara here. Back towards Chock. Plenty of green and white stripes back. Chock twists and turns, tries to wriggle his way clear. Win, with all his experience, former Kiwi international, sees it over the byline. Win. Hallam trying to tickle into the path of hope, but he lost the ball and he's lost it to Ali. The crowd enjoyed that. Idara. Lesiotis. That was a little bit risky, almost cut off by Abdullah, who's been very quiet. Here's left lean, galloping forward. Now he runs into a cul-de-sac. He's going backwards, left lean. Here's Lesiotis again in midfield. Having a lot of the ball here, Heidelberg, but even though they have had a few chances, given the amount of possession, you'd probably expect them to have a few more. Idara controls it on his thighs. Collins. Nothing doing there. Regard sends it back, straight back to Collins, who won the ball again. Idara. Senegal-born midfielder, Hamid Idara, become a real fixture in the centre of the park for the Burgers under Johnny Anastasiadis. There's Fulton, like he had his shirt tugged a bit there. Referee let it go. Game's just hit a bit of a flat spot. Those early fireworks. We head up towards the half-hour mark. The ball spills out of play here. Heidelberg again looking to go down that left-hand side, but Green Gully managed to foil them on this occasion. Back underway. Again, the Burgers go down the far side. Basetto looking to wriggle in behind. There's a couple of defenders with him. And they see it out for a goal kick. The Burgers think this is a corner. There's a bit of confusion here. And I think it will be a corner. A bit of miscommunication between the linesman and the referee. And what was originally a goal kick for Green Gully is now a corner for the Burgers. I think it's the first one of the night from the far side, as they look to retake the lead. Just short of the half-hour mark. Lethlean is up there, so too is Ali. It spills in the 6-yard box and it's hacked away by Wynn. And they can breathe a bit easier, Green Gully, but as this half is going on, they are having to defend deeper and deeper and deeper. Scooped over the top here. It's Chalk to Idara. And Wynn arrives just to avoid another corner. This time on the near side, but it's a throw. It is all Heidelberg now. There's that threat on the break that Green Gully held earlier in the game is dissipated right off. As Heidelberg sent the ball across the area here, it's missed everyone. Yokokawa went down. Referee lets it go, and Green Gully are happy to get out of jail. And a bustling run here by Crooks, who's been a bit quiet. He's making his presence felt, though, as Green Gully come forward. One of their rare forays. They haven't been forward hardly since the first 10 or 15 minutes, and they can't do much on this occasion. As we tick over the half-hour mark, it's 1-1 between the Burgers and the Cavaliers. Kate Lucas with you on YouTube. Hope you can stay with us for the last 15 minutes of this half and the 45 to come. Lethlean, who's probably seen more of the ball than just about any player on the pitch. Souza. Is at fault for the first goal, but really hasn't had much else to do other than that. Sloppy in midfielder. Munzi wins it back for Green Gully. Munzi again just was a little bit ponderous, and the Burgers arrived in numbers, won the ball, but then lose it themselves. But the whistle is blown. Collins tried to get on with it just a little bit too quickly. Jack Morgan says, no, bring it back. Souza way forward. He's almost up in the centre circle. Ali. I'm looking for Idara there, but it was knocked away from him emphatically. A throw here for Gully, right on halfway, right in front of us here at the Village. Regard slides that all the way across to Crooks. And here's Abdullah. They need to get him involved. And they work it forward down the flank here. It's Hope who was in the centre. Lethlean got there in front of him, though, the big Burgers defender. Now to Collins. Very old ping pong. Lockhead. Nothing doing there. And now Heidelberg will look to come away. Chalk just kept it in the near touchline. Lesiotis. Last thing Heidelberg would want is to concede a goal here just before half-time, having dominated this half so much. Imanzi. Nothing ball there by Carl Imanzi, ex-Hume City midfielder. One of a few Hume City players that David Chick brought with him in his big off-season move. course, David Chick and his opposite number, John Anastasiadis, tonight, both former managers of Bentley Greens. Chick managed them when they were down in NPL 2, whereas Anastasiadis was with them when they were hitting the heights of the early years of the Australia Cup. I think they made the semis under Johnny Anastasiadis on at least one occasion, if not more. It's the other Greens who are involved here tonight, though, Green Gully. And they've got the ball here through Lockhead. Now Wynn. And he sends in a teasing cross just a bit over the head of Hope. Fulton at ground level. Hope. Two Tasmanians going at it. And it was the Green Gully man who gave away a fairly cynical foul. A tactical foul, I think they call them these days. That was right on the edge of being possibly a yellow card foul. Not something that Josh Hope is not known for. He's a fairly combative midfielder. A very good one, though, and he's been great for Gully as they've revived in recent weeks. Here's Idara, another good midfielder. Runs into a cul-de-sac. Regard. Over towards Hallam. Gully just waking up a little bit again. Hallam goes to ground and then can't believe he hasn't got a free. He is bellowing at Jack Morgan like a child who was about to have a tantrum at one of his parents. Nice interplay this by Heidelberg. Came to Bassetto, but just couldn't quite fashion a shot out of that. Lovely one-touch football through the middle. The end result is a goal kick for Green Gully. Inside 10 minutes to go before half-time. Both goals came within the first 10 minutes. And since then, there's been a lot of huffing and puffing, particularly by Heidelberg. But not a whole lot in the way of clear-cut chances. The Burgers really, from the quarter-hour mark onwards, have dominated the game in possession and field position. And the few chances that have come have been from them, but might be a little bit frustrated to still be on level pegging with Gully, who are hanging around. Some of the players they've got, they are very much still in this game. Wynn, right in front of us, is hobbling a bit. So he's going to continue on, but that's something they'll have to monitor at half-time as Regard sends it straight over Wynn's head. A misplaced pass there by Jalil Regard. And now play is coming to a stop. There's another Green Gully player down. And the physios are being called here. Just looking at the body language, doesn't look like someone who's going to be able to continue. Can't quite work out exactly who it is. Seemed to be something that happened behind play, whatever it was. Morris Nugent, the skipper, who's the player who is hurt, and it does look as though his night might be done. Thought it might be him, but I couldn't see the number, so I didn't want to say so without being sure, but it is Nugent, the Irishman, formerly of Galway United, and he is making the long walk over towards the bench. And David Chick's going to have to make a substitution with about 6 or 7 minutes to go before half time. Wait and see who does come on for Nugent, but that is a blow. It's going to be Paul Hodges. So an Englishman for an Irishman. Nugent off, and Hodges, formerly of Basingstoke Town, is on to play in midfield. He has been a regular starter at times this season, Paul Hodges, so it's not a huge blow for Green Gully in terms of quality, but they wouldn't want to be making changes this early in the game. And they certainly wouldn't want their skipper to be going off injured. It's difficult to work out exactly what type of injury it was. I'm no physio, so I'm not going to speculate, but certainly there was no attempt to try and run it out or to really do any work or anything on it. Everyone seemed resigned to the fact that Maurice Nugent's night was over, and it is. But the game still has plenty to go, including about 5.5 minutes before the break. Can either side break the deadlock? 1-1. Been that way since the very early stages. As Hodges had his first involvement, it was to send the ball out of play. Now it's back in play. Amunzi with a sliding challenge, and he opens the door for Crooks. And they're away here, Gully. Abdullah, they need to get him involved. On the far side, Amir Abdullah. He sends it out wide. Curled the ball out into the path of Wynn. Looked initially as though he'd woefully misplaced that pass, but it was just a lovely curling ball. And now it's Imanzi. It's not quite such a lovely ball over hit into the path of Souza. Ali. Adara. Back to Souza. As things stand, Heidelberg will be going second, though that's largely because Oakley have yet to start in their match against Hume. Burgess player down here, but the referee doesn't look interested. A few of the fans near me thought there was some wrongdoing. But it's Yokokawa who gets up. Yes, with Oakley yet to kick off. For the time being, they are second here, the Burgers. Avondale streaking away on top. They'll be extending their lead. Here's Yokokawa. Now over towards Ali. Can they go into the break in front? It's Yokokawa. His shot's blocked. And the ball ricochets out of play. And the locals are upset again. They thought that was maybe a foul throw or shouldn't have been a throw at all. They've got their bee in their bonnet over something. But it is going to be another throw to Declan Wynn. Yes, Avondale currently leading against Dandy City, so their lead was 5 points at the top of the table. Currently, it will be 8. Sorry, 7. Math's not my strong suit, but they're a long way out in front, but fair bit still to play out, of course, not just in the season, but tonight. Duarte trying to get involved there for Heidelberg. He's one player from the home team who hasn't really got into the game a lot tonight. I don't remember saying his name too much. Most of the other players wearing yellow have seen a lot of the ball. Here come Gully, though, on the break. It's Abdullah to Hope. This is dangerous for the home team as Gully come forward and nearly go in front. That was a flying shot at goal there. I'm not sure if it was Hope or it was Lockhead following up. But someone got good purchase and didn't miss by a lot. That's certainly as close as the visitors have come since when they scored back in the 7th minute. Left lean to Basetto, trying to burst through the middle, but he has his pocket picked by Lockhead. Gully have it. Win. Looks like he's managed to run off that earlier knock. Here's Byrne. Fourth official will soon put his board up to see if we've got any stoppage time, as that's almost chased down by Hallam. Souza very nearly with egg on his face again, courtesy of Casper Hallam. He got away with that one though, Souza, but then his clearance isn't great. He's given it away. And maybe a last opportunity for Gully here. In fact, they should have time for plenty of opportunities. 3 minutes of stoppage time. As left lean missed it, Lockhead might be in here. Suddenly they look a bit rocky at the back, Heidelberg. Now Fulton coming away. He runs into a cul-de-sac. Abdullah. Imanzi. A little purple patch here, Green Gully. They're bookending the half. They showed a bit in the early stages. Went missing for the vast bulk of the half, and now last 5 minutes or so, they've shown a bit again. Driscoll. Basetto. Hacks that into the night sky. Byrne has not controlled it, but Driscoll is there to mop up. Regard. Driscoll again. Leathers that one forward. Probably got more height on it than distance. And the Burgers win it back. Here is George. And that brings groans from the crowd because he's turned it over. And here's Hallam. Buffeted it off the ball by Ali. It's been a good battle between those two, the two goal scorers. Here's Wynn. Can't be too many opportunities left before the break. And it might be Gully who have the last chance. It's Wynn. He's going to send the ball across. Nothing doing though. Heidelberg managed to work it away. And now Leslie Otis with a miscued hook straight into the night sky, straight up and down the chimney. Both sides really look ready for the break. Some pretty scrappy football here, but that's a long ball forward, a good ball forward to Abdullah. Fulton right with him though, manages to defuse the situation and see the ball out of play. Maybe one last chance here for the visitors, who are certainly finishing the half the stronger. Hope. That's a sloppy pass, turned it over in midfield. And maybe the Burgers could have the last say. Duarch taking on Hope. Hope muscles him out of it, does well. Hallam and Ali. Almost in each other's pockets, those two. And that ends the half. It ends to the boos of the Heidelberg supporters. who probably feel like their team should be in front, and certainly on the balance of play they should be. They went ahead after just 3 minutes when Asahi Yokokawa's free kick almost went in. It went under the wall. Liam Driscoll got down to make the save, but in doing so, parried it straight into the path of Jamal Ali, the Sudanese defender, scoring his 4th of the season and his 3rd in a week to put the Burgers in front, but they weren't in front for long. Welcome back to the Olympic Village here in Heidelberg, where at half-time it is 1-1 between the home side, the Burgers, and the visiting Green Gully. 3rd versus 9th. And at times it has looked like that in terms of general play. The Burgers certainly well on top in terms of possession, but with the main statistic that everyone pays most attention to, they are on level pegging. Heidelberg scored through Jamal Ali after just 3 minutes, and Casper Hallam replied 4 minutes later on the 7th minute for Green Gully, and from them it was level pegging for the rest of the half. Heidelberg on top, but Green Gully occasionally flickering in general play. We'll try and keep up with any changes to personnel at the break. Green Gully did have to make one change just before the break, with Morris, with their captain Morris Nugent having to go off with an injury. Paul Hodges replaced him, and we are underway in the second half here. The visitors, Green Gully, going towards the southern end or the left of your screen. Heidelberg going towards the north or the right of your screen. And, of course, they're in the yellow and black. And the Cavaliers in their green and white stripes. Quickly, some scores elsewhere. It's Preston Lions 1, Melbourne Knights 0. Avondale 2-0 over Dandy City now. And Hume City and Oakley has just kicked off. And it's 0-0 there. And it is 1-1 here between the Burgers and the Cavaliers. Heidelberg currently will be second if this result holds. Here's Imanzi trying to wriggle forward for Green Gully, and he wins an early corner, which by my reckoning will be the first of the game for the visitors. They scored. Well, both teams scored very early on in the first half. Maybe they can repeat the dose here in the second half. Looks like it'll be Amir Abdullah with the delivery from the near side. It's been a bit quiet by his very lofty standards, Amir Abdullah. As the referee, Jack Morgan, just comes in and sorts out a few of the players milling around in the 6-yard box. Here's Abdullah, low and flat, and that's dealt with by Lethleen. Abdullah would be disappointed with that delivery. And it's out of play, and it's Crooks with the throw. Right in front of us here at the Village, we're in the main stand. Kate Lucas with you on YouTube. Hope you're enjoying the coverage wherever you're watching on this Friday night in Melbourne. Big night of NPL action. Now, long ball forward, and here's Abdullah. This is dangerous. He takes it to the byline. Back there with him is Fulton. Abdullah keeps his feet. Shot is blocked again. Lethleen denying him. Lethleen, who had plenty of the ball in the first half, he's had to really do some defending here to start the second. But now he puts them into attack. It's Juak coming down the left-hand side. A players down in the area. They are going cocoa bananas here in the stand at Heidelberg. I think it was Yokokawa who went down, but the referee says play on. And the locals cannot believe it. Yokokawa picks himself up. And Green Gully play on. And now they go down the flank. Both teams taking the handbrake off here. It's Hope who sends the ball across the area. Nobody home. Basetto. He's dispossessed by Abdullah. It looks like he's woken up a bit. Hope. Back to Byrne. And now Regard. Doesn't look as though either coach has made changes at half-time. They're on the far side of the field. Often us commentators are last to know. Usually when we notice a player out in the field that we don't recognise. But at the moment, it doesn't look like there's been any changes apart from that enforced one late in the first half for Green Gully. Are on the move here. It's Lockhead who he slipped over just when the move was getting promising. Ali's there to pick up the crumbs. And now racing down the far touchline is Sebit, Nagur Sebit. Actually, it's James, Nagur James. Sebit Nagur James, who's come on, so there is a change here for Heidelberg. Claims of handball. And belatedly, it's given. James Nagur will go with. And it's Bassetto. Open the door for Lesiotis. It's across the face of goal, and it is a goal! And it's the aforementioned Nagur James who scored. The substitute who came on at half-time has made a huge impact in just a matter of minutes. The ball came across. It was going fast. He didn't have time to really trap it and settle himself. He had to hit it in one motion, and boy did he do it well. And Heidelberg are back in front, and you've got to say on the balance of play, that is where they deserve to be. It's Heidelberg 2, Green Gully 1. Sebit Nagur James, ex-Central Coast Mariner, forward, Kenyan. One of two Kenyans in the lineup here for Heidelberg. And he has made a big impact. James Nagur again getting involved, winning the ball back. He has really energised Heidelberg since coming on. And Green Gully will get away with a free kick here. Jack Morgan just giving Jamal Ali a bit of a talking to there. It was the cause of that brief delay, and we're back underway. Green Gully in familiar territory. They conceded very early on in the first half and then hit back very quickly. They'll be looking to do the same here. It's Abdullah. He's got some room to move. He looks into midfield. Oh, he found Hamill coming into the far post. There was just an interception at the last moment. Otherwise, Hamill might have been in again as Fulton is sent flying. And again, the crowd here at Heidelberg are up out of their seats. Jack Morgan hasn't reached for a card yet. That's what they're calling for. No, it doesn't look like they're going. Doesn't look like he's going to. Seen them given for plenty less than that. Still only one yellow card given tonight, and that was in the very early stages to a Green Gully player. None for Heidelberg. Here's James Nagore, the live wire, who scored the goal to put the Burgers back in front. And now Heidelberg definitely will be going second if this result stands, bearing in mind that Oakley and Hume have only just kicked off. James Nagore loses the ball. Imanzi, and now Gully just hoof it clear, but there is barely any Green Gully players past halfway. Heidelberg pushing up very high. They want to kill this game off. Probably feel it's been closer than it should have been. And now they've got their noses in front. They'll want to put it away. And here's James Nagore, the goal scorer again. Gully defenders want the flag up, and it is. Driscoll. Left lane. All over the top. Fulton is there to deal with it though for Heidelberg, not so convincingly. Hope has it now for Gully. Controls it well out of the sky. Imanzi. Here's Abdullah. Hodges. First half substitute. Had to come on after Nugent was injured. Both teams still with 4 further substitutes up their sleeve. And it's getting to about that point in the match where changes are often made. Almost 59 minutes in. Doesn't look like any imminent though. Heidelberg try and work it out of tight spaces. Yokokawa went down. It's a free kick for the home side. It'll work it to the grandstand side. Left lean. Besetto. Sloppy by him. Former Western United player. They have kept the ball very well generally tonight, Heidelberg. Green Gully make the most of this opportunity. They've gone backwards in order to go forwards. He's Byrne, the big centre-back, creeping forward. And that's sloppy by him. He gave it straight into the path of Lesiotis. And now the Burgers are on the move again. Down the right-hand side where the goal came from at the start of this second half. Idara. Collins. Oh, just a brain fade from him. Luckily, Lethlean was there to mop up. James Nagore just caressed that one forward. Ali's going forward, and now Idara coming through. It ricochets out for a goal kick. But they're the only team that looks like scoring another here. Heidelberg, they're already in front. And I think if they score another one now, that probably shuts the gate. Idara. Ali. Tried to be a bit too cute there, Jamal Ali. It's out of play. And they've crossed the hour mark. And it's Heidelberg who have taken the lead for the second time in the game. And this time, they've held it for more than a few minutes. They're on top both in general play and on the scoreboard. Leading Green Gully by 2-1. And they're looking to advance on that. Some nice interplay down the far side. And they win a corner here, the Burgers. They're turning the screw. The Alexandra cheer squad spark up again. You can probably hear them in the background. Team has a chance here to really put this game to bed. Hasn't been too many corners for either side tonight. And this one is a long one. It's Yokokawa who put the laces through it. It ricochets up into the night sky. And that was a training ground move that didn't really work. Well, it works sort of because it's won a corner from the other side now. So they'll go again here, Heidelberg. Instead of shooting for goal, it'll be Yokokawa to take the corner on this occasion from the near side at the Murray Road end. Not a great delivery this time either. Spills out towards Fulton. And he goes back further to Lesiotis. They reload here, Heidelberg. Collins over towards Yokokawa. He can hit them from there. Great ball to the back post. They only needed a touch and it was 3-1. But it just whizzed through and over the byline. And it got a Gully touch on the way through, so it's another corner here for Heidelberg. They are really turning up the heat now. Again, not a great delivery in. Will that be a fourth corner? Yes, it will. The only saving grace here for Green Gully with all these corners is that so far Heidelberg haven't been very good at them, but you'd think that sooner rather than later they're going to get one right. They go short here. Lesiotis. He has a shot. It goes all the way through. Anthony Lesiotis has put this game to bed, and he's done so in style. They played the corner short. He beat the first man. He put his head down, and he put his laces through it. It took a few touches on the way through, but it still found itself into the back of the net, and Heidelberg are headed for 3 points. They lead Green Gully by 3-1 after almost 65 minutes in the village. That's Anthony Lesiotis' second goal of the season. Who knows, he might end up with as many goals as yellow cards. At the moment, yellow cards are winning that equation. He's got 4 to the 2 goals. But that goal has almost certainly put this game out of Green Gully's reach. Still time for them, but it's just hard to see it happening. Heidelberg have really been in complete control apart from the opening quarter of an hour, and they really are in the mood here. They could have more goals. It's James Nagore down the right-hand side, twisting and turning. Iannucci's come on here for Green Gully. He's back in defence. It's not really his forte, but he's having to do it. Here's Idara now. Left lean. Looking elsewhere, still 0-0 between Oakley and Hume City. Avondale still leading Dandy City by 2-0. Preston leading Melbourne Knights by 1-0. So Heidelberg very much going into second place at the moment. Still Avondale very much leading the way in NPL Victoria. Green Gully will be camped in mid-table. They still have time to do something about it, and it's Hamill who's certainly trying. He's scored their 1 goal. He's still going here. Now it's it's Iannucci who's just come on. Lockhead there too. Lockhead now trying to get it out from underneath himself to have a shot. He tumbles over the Scotsman. And after all that, it looks like it's going to be a Green Gully free kick. This is almost the identical spot where Heidelberg scored from the free kick in the opening minutes of the game. Yokokawa took that and then it rebounded into Jamal Ali, who scored. Green Gully would love something similar here to give themselves a lifeline. As I mentioned, they still have time. Still probably the best part of 25 minutes or so, including stoppage time, maybe even a bit more than that. So they need to start somewhere. They've certainly got some players who are more than capable, most notably the man standing over this one, Amir Abdullah. This is right up his alley. The ball back inside the area. And there's no doubt about who's going to take it. It's Abdullah, the only one standing over it. Yaron Souza awaits at the clubroom's end. This game may just hinge on this moment. Can Amir Abdullah conjure a bit of magic? It ricochets off the wall, and Souza's happy to see that over his head and over the crossbar. But he will still have a corner to deal with. It's Abdullah again, who will take the set-piece delivery. Abdullah, left lean again there, the first man. He's been like a brick wall at those corners for Green Gully, left lean. Just hasn't allowed them to really get anything out of their set pieces so far tonight. Not that they've had a great deal of them. Fulton. Long ball forward to no one in particular. Meanwhile, a player has gone down in midfield and another yellow card. Going towards Green Gully. I think it's a Regard who's gone into the book. A bit of movement here on the Burgers bench as we tick up towards the final 20 minutes of normal time. Basetto. Oh, he leads his opponent a merry dance. And now it comes to Fulton. Down the near touchline. He's in behind. Byrne there, though, to take it off him rather suddenly. He's a big man, Byrne, but he can move pretty quickly, and he came from nowhere on that occasion. Now the ball back in the control of Souza. Looks like a double change being ready for the Burgers. Our vantage point here on the far side means it's a bit far away to be able to tell exactly who is coming on. It's a great place to commentate from here when it's raining at the Village, but you are a bit far away from the action. We're up pretty close to it here on this occasion, though, because they're going up the left-hand side, the Burgers, and now it's Basetto coming in board. Ali getting involved. Back towards Lesiotis. He scored from not far away from there. Here's James de Gore, the other goal scorer this half, going into the area. All hands on deck here for the Gully defence. It's Hope who brings it away, but only momentarily. Gee, they're still hungry here, Heidelberg. You think they were the team that were chasing the game, pressing and harrying. They've really got the bit between the teeth. Johnny Anastasiadis' men, not just in this game, but this season, they are keen to prove that they belong at the very top table with the Avondales and the Oakleys. And South Melbourne faltering. There's certainly an opportunity for another side to get up there and mix it with those established powers. As Basetto comes off. It's Jay McGowan who's come on. New South Wales midfielder from the Sutherland Sharks. Enters the fray. Here's Crooks, right in front of us on the near side, the English midfielder. A bit quiet tonight. Here's another English midfielder, Hodges. Regard. Win. Working it down the left-hand side. This is better. It's Hamill who's come out wide. James Nagore knocked the ball off him, though. Now Lockhead. Strokes it forward. Hope is in the area. Hope couldn't quite give his team hope there. Lovely first touch, but a good save by Souza. Gully haven't given up the ghost here. It's a long way back for them, but they get a goal. And with over 15 minutes to go, they are still in business. Melbourne Knights currently losing too, so it's probably not a bad result for Gully either, because they're directly behind them in the table. So if they drop points here, then the Knights and Preston result stands, well then Knights won't benefit at least. Still a bit to play out though, at both venues, at all venues tonight in NPL Victoria on YouTube. Hope you're enjoying the coverage, whatever game you're watching. Cade Lucas with you here at the Village, where Heidelberg are in control, but not 100% guaranteed to win this. Gully certainly trying hard as Iannucci goes backward and belly flops, almost clattered into his own keeper there. Gianluca Iannucci played up in his home territory last week in Shepparton. He's from the Goulburn Valley, but sat on the bench to start that game, and he's done the same here tonight, coming on in the second half as Gully look to get something going here through Abdullah and Crooks, the hard-running Crooks. But left lean is having none of it. And the faithful in the stands here at the Village enjoyed that. A whistle is blown. The ball may have gone out of play here on the near side. A belated free kick. It's Gully's ball, whatever the reason. As we tick over 75 minutes. Hope. Crooks. Back towards Hope. Oh, that's a dangerous ball in. Iannucci was ghosting in. Now comes out to Lockhead over towards Hallam. Like a jack in the box, he got up. Hallam again. Now Win. That's a dangerous ball across. Souza was flapping at it, but they get it away, the Burgers. Not the most convincing defending, but they do enough. How they would love a target man in those situations, Green Gully. Hamill has certainly got some hops on him, as they say in basketball parlance, but he's not a big man. Someone over 6 foot could have gone on the end of a few of those balls into the box end. Lovely flick there by Iannucci. Doesn't come to much, but he has got one of the deepest bags of tricks in this competition. Here's Hodges now in midfield. Like they did in the first half. Green Gully coming good again as the game wears on. As there's going to be another stoppage. There's 2 Heidelberg players down. Souza, the keeper, is stretching, and there's another player down, a defender. Is it Yokokawa or is it Fulton? Getting a bit of work done with the physio. I think it is Yokokawa, who's not a defender, of course, but he was in the defensive part of the field. And that gives everyone a chance to have a drink, get a bit of a pep talk before the final stanza here at the Village. It'll give us a chance to have a quick glance at the scores elsewhere. And there is no change to the scores. Still 1-0 between Preston and Melbourne Knights. 80 minutes played there. Avondale still 2 goals to the good over Dandy City. 66 minutes in there. 35 minutes in at Hume City, where they're playing Oakley, the team that are directly ahead of Heidelberg on goal difference. And that game is still 0-0. So certainly if those results hold, it is the Burgers who are the big winners of the night. And, of course, Avondale just keep on keeping on. Tomorrow, Altona Magic are at Paisley Park against South Melbourne. They could be the talk of the town this weekend too, South Melbourne, if they don't turn things around. Who knows what might happen there. Dandy Thunder host Port Melbourne Sharks, who got a surprise win last week. And then on Sunday, Melbourne victory against Dynamo St Albans. As players back underway here, Hodges slipped over. McGowan kept his feet and won the ball. Gully went it back in midfield. Here's Lockhead. Got their second win here, the visitors. Lockhead twisting and turning, sending the ball in, but Souza saw it coming and sets away James Nagore. And he has got some serious toe. And he helps it forward towards Duach. Couldn't quite hit James Nagore on the follow-up. And the ball is out of play. More changes for the Burgers. Klassen is coming on. I think it is Duach who's coming off. Also Fulton coming off. Wait for the identity of the player replacing him. It's Markovic, Dalibor Markovic coming on. And Peter Klassen coming on. So some tall timber up top and a defender for the Burgers as they try and see this one out. And go up to second in the table. David Chick hasn't made many changes for Green Gully yet as Yokokawa goes forward. Lockhead sends him tumbling down. And again, the local faithful express their displeasure with the referee. He won't be getting any Christmas cards from Heidelberg this summer, I wouldn't have thought. Lesiotis, one of the goal scorers. Yokokawa back towards Lesiotis into the area, goes down, and that is a penalty. I wasn't sure if it was in the area or not. It must have been right on the line. But Jack Morgan was in good enough position. He had to think, And he pointed to the spot. And if Heidelberg didn't have the 3 points in their keeping already, they can lock them up here if they convert this spot kick. Yokokawa again causing problems, pace and trickery. He went down, and now it is the substitute Klassen who's got the job of converting the penalty. Liam Driscoll awaits. Almost 82 minutes played. This to make it a 3-goal margin and wrap up the 3 points. And Klassen does just that. And he is cock-a-hoop too, Peter Klassen. He's only been on the field a matter of seconds. And they are coming from everywhere, Heidelberg. You'd think they've won the World Cup their way they're celebrating. And they have certainly won this game. And they are going up to second in the table. It is Heidelberg 4, Green Gully 1. Peter Klassen from Redlands in Queensland. That may well be his first goal for the club, which might be the reason for those rather energetic celebrations. It was a good penalty though, stroking it into the far corner. Liam Driscoll had no chance. And Green Gully have no chance now either. Heidelberg have finally made their dominance count. And this will be a 6th win of the season. They've now scored 22 goals too, so they are really purring, Johnny Anastasiadis' men. Just for Green Gully. It's back to the drawing board a little bit after that horrendous 5-0 loss at home to Dandy City a month ago. They have recovered quite a lot with a couple of very good wins and a draw. This will just deflate them a bit, but Heidelberg away is always tough, but at the moment the Burgers looking as strong as they have done for a long time. And they want more here. It's Ali. Could he score again? Oh, he does nearly. That was a rocket. Whistled past the upright from Jamal Ali. I'm not sure if the broadcast would have been able to continue if that one went in, because the Heidelberg faithful would have just torn the stand down, I reckon. So excited would they have been. They've got some defending to do here, Heidelberg at the other end. Yokokawa back there will bring it away. Then Cooks puts on a body check, and then the referee shakes his head. Lockhead. Cullen somehow got boot to ball there, drifts across the face of goal, and a flying shot by Iannucci. Good save, Souza. That was out of nothing. And now another shot by Regard. And that was always going well wide. They're swinging for the fences now, a big Green Gully. They're not even a puncher's chance from here. Less than 5 minutes of normal time to play. They're not going to make up 3 goals. I mean, apart from that opening goal they scored, well, the first goal they scored back in the 7th minute. After that, they really haven't carved out too many chances. There's been some half chances, and then of course that shot by Iannucci seconds ago. But other than that, they haven't looked too dangerous up forward, Green Gully. Here they go Down the left-hand side through Hallam rather. Abdullah into the area. Souza palms it away. Hope. Game has gotten a bit scrappy. And a chance here. And a save off Ragag, who tries to follow up. But the Burgers get back in numbers. Jalil Ragag thought he had scored a rare goal there. He certainly hit it well. But Souza, who hasn't had a lot to do tonight, but apart from letting in that early goal, apart from that, when he has been called upon, he's been up to the task. He certainly was there. Byrne, on the outside of the boot to Hope now. Idara brought him down, but the referee's going to let it go. Hope is still down behind play. Hallam. Lockhead. Play going on around Hope, who's writhing on the turf. And now it's out of play. Hope is banging the ground. This looks like it's more than play acting. This might be something serious for Josh Hope. And that's bad news for Green Gully. He's really their heartbeat in midfield. Just the way he banged the turf in frustration. Players normally do that when they know they're set for a spell on the sidelines. Green Gully's next assignment is at St Albans next weekend. Go to Churchill Reserve, up onto the third pitch there probably, because the main pitch is out of action at the moment. Whilst for Heidelberg, they go to South Melbourne at Lakeside. And given the situation there, with Esteban Quintas's job seemingly hanging by a thread, he could be out of a job if they lose to Altona Magic tomorrow. And boy, oh boy, would the Burgers love to go down to Lakeside and rub salt into the wounds there of their old rivals. So that's the respective games next weekend for these two clubs. As this game peters out, we've only got just over 60 seconds of normal time and then stoppage time beyond that. A few more substitutions being made as Hope comes off. He'll play no further part. He looks very ginger coming off Josh Hope. Trying to identify who's come on for Green Gully in just a second as play gets back underway. It's Eloan Kifle who's come on for Green Gully to replace Hope for the last few minutes. 20-odd seconds of normal time, and then we should have a chunk of stoppage time to come. Here's Iannucci, but he's beaten to it by Markovic for Heidelberg. His first touch of the ball since coming on the second half substitute. Here's Ali. Brimming with confidence, Jamal Ali. Well, he should be. He's been doing very well as a defender, but he's been adding goals to his game too. You can't ask for much more than that. As this ball goes out of play. And he's actually given away a corner here, Jamal Ali. So you give a guy a rap and then commentators curse, he makes a mistake. And a late chance here for Green Gully to try and salvage something. Next week's game starts now. Hallam plays it short. All into the box. Byrne is up. Yaron Souza doesn't even bother trying to save it. team that plays the way they do seem a bit mismatched at times. Green Gully, they like to get plenty of balls into the box, but they don't have much tall timber up there to aim at. The likes of Burn and Regard are really only tall players. They certainly don't have a tall striker, at least not in the lineup this evening. Souza with the goal kick. Didn't manage to catch how many minutes of stoppage time there are. I would imagine a few, though. There's been a few stoppages in this second half. Here's Abdullah. And that sums up a frustrating night for Amir Abdullah, for a player of his quality. It's easy to forget he was even on the pitch for much of the first half. He's been better in the second, but just hasn't happened for him. He has missed a fair bit of football, though. After the first couple of weeks, he got injured. He's only just come back, so... Actually, no, he didn't get injured. Rather, he was away with Sudan on their World Cup campaign, of course. But that, of course, would have taken it out of him a bit as well, exerting himself for his country. A lot of travel involved, of course, too, so no wonder he's maybe a bit rustier than what we are used to seeing. Here come Green Gully. Is there a chance for a late one for them here? That ball dribbling out of play. And it's a corner for them. They're going to play it short. They're not wasting any time here. Iannucci, Klassen back to head that away. Here is the aforementioned Abdullah. Now Crooks. They're throwing everything at it here. Gully, they want a goal. They won't get one there, though. Byrne was up, but straight into the path of Souza. And he'll be in no hurry, Yaron Souza. It's been a very good Friday night at the office for Heidelberg again. Frustrating at times, but their class is finally told. And they're going to run out with another big win when they do win the Burgers. They do really put their opponents away. A number of times they've scored 4 and 5 goals this season and won by 3 or 4 goal margins. This will be another one. James Nagore, one of the goal scorers. Claims of handball there. Let go by the referee, and now he's put it over the top, and Klassen's in behind. He could have a double here, the big Queenslander. Klassen. Gully scrambled back in time. Here's James Nagore. Could he get a second? Across the face of goal. And just a bit too high for Ali. And that might be all she wrote. Ali's a bit sore after that effort to reach the ball. He's getting a helping hand there from, I think, Regard. You like to see that. Driscoll does the goal kick. It can't be very long to go here now. We know it's nearly over because the locals have gotten up there, headed to the club rooms. You know the whistle is imminent. Here come Gully, one last chance. Hallam, great run. And it ricochets out. Looks like it'll be a corner. A very late corner for Green Gully. Another one from that far side. See, Caspar Hallam puts in a shift. Can't question his effort. He has run flat out from the opening whistle right to the last. Here's Iannucci with the cross. And it's a good one. Hallam was up. Now Kifle, but that drifts into the path of Souza. And he wraps his whole body around it. The Heidelberg keeper. The whistle hasn't blown, but everyone's leaving the grandstand here. They're going to the club rooms to celebrate. They've been having a bit to celebrate here at the Village lately. And they can kick off the party tonight because it's another big win for Johnny Anastasiadis and his men. Heidelberg are tripping the light fantastic in 2025. They move up to second in the table as things stand, depending on the game between Hume and Oakley. And the way they're playing, they deservedly are right up at the pointy end of the table because they have put away Green Gully in style here tonight at the Village. They got off to the fastest of starts, a goal after just 3 minutes after a free kick from Asahi Yokokawa. Almost went in, but on the follow-up, it was a goal for Jamal Ali. Then they conceded pretty soon after when Hallam did the same thing at the other end. A shot came in, it was spilt by the keeper. Hallam mopped up to make it 1-1. That was how it stayed till half-time. Despite Heidelberg dominating the game in possession, it was still all even at the break. But then after the break, a couple of substitutions by Johnny Anastasiadis, and they made the difference. James Nagore came on, and he scored a beauty to put them in front 2-1, and from there it was pretty much one-way traffic. A beauty from outside the area by Lysiotis made it 3-1, and then a late penalty to Peter Klassen made it 4-1, and an emphatic victory for the Burgers, who have their 6th win of the season, and the way they're going, there could be a fair few more of them to come. My name's Cade Lucas. It's been a pleasure to bring it to you here on YouTube from the Village tonight between Gully and Heidelberg, where the home team have run out very comfortable winners by 4 goals to 1.